And so, what advice would you give entrepreneurs that are just starting out, specifically in managing their finances wisely from the outset?
I like this question, Justin, because it is not rocket science. The things that are good for you as an individual running your life in the world, the same rules apply for business. It's if you borrow from somebody, pay it back. And if you can't pay it back in the way that you had originally negotiated, communicate about that, because most organizations understand things change. Life throws curveballs, and you don't always have the mitt ready to catch them. Sometimes it hits you in the head. And at that point in time, you have to retool and say, okay, the game has changed a little bit. Now, what do we need to do? Running a business is exactly the same. It's saying, what obligations am I under? With whom? And how am I going to manage those? And if I find that I am underwater, let's be honest quickly and candidly with those other partners, and let's figure out the problem together. I think what happens to a lot of us in business is we're a subject matter expert in a certain thing. If you are a welder, your expertise is in how to affix one thing to another using a unique strategy. If you're in medical services, your expertise is understanding how the body works and applying that knowledge to solving healthcare issues. If you grow food, or if you make metal components for a manufacturing operation or for a car manufacturer, your expertise is in fabrication. We don't jump from being a subject matter expert to also being a business expert. It's its own expertise. It's its own specialty. If we're lucky, we can acquire team members who have some of those components. Maybe somebody that's a financial expert, maybe somebody that's a supply expert, procurement expert, maybe somebody that's an HR expert. And we all know that those roles exist for a reason, because it's really difficult to be a subject matter expert at everything. Most small businesses, at least, don't always have all of those roles segregated. So you might find people are wearing multiple hats. Some people like that. They like to be, a Jack or Jill of all trades. They want to be able to dabble in all those things. They're curious people and they're very capable. They want to try. But it only works for a while. At some point in time, we all outstrip, including me in our financial services business, have definitely had our business outstrip my ability to be expert in all the areas. And so we have had to bring in subject matter experts and allow them to bring their authority and their knowledge and their insight into the role. So for a lot of small businesses, I think that's a challenge. And you can't always outsource or pay for the outsourcing. But I would say the more advice you can get on the areas that you're weak, and that, of course, presupposes that you understand what your strengths are and maybe what your Achilles heels are. Maybe you're a great production shop manager, but really not good at the HR part. Find out what your Achilles heels are and make sure you resource that well, because quite often that's the thing that will come home to haunt you, and nobody likes ghosts.